Stay online at aclj.org. AM 600 WBOB Jacksonville, 101.1 FM W266DX Fruit Cove, the conservative voice of Jacksonville.
Breaking news this hour at townhall.com. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Last night on Capitol Hill.
On this vote, the yeas are 222 and the nays are 200.
The House voting to hold former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows in contempt of Congress. More from correspondent Andrew Stewart.
The vote comes after Meadows stopped cooperating with the January 6th committee investigating the U.S. Capitol melee. This marks the first time the House has voted to hold a former member in contempt since the 1830s. The near-party line 222 to 208 vote is the second time the special committee has sought to punish a witness for defying a subpoena. The vote marks the latest show of force by the January 6th panel.
Meanwhile, Republican Congressman Michael Burgess, who is a member of the Rules Committee in the House, asked why the panel had not demanded emails and other correspondence from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Charles Schumer.
If you really want to get to the answers, if you really want to protect the Capitol against any future attempts, as Mr. McGovern keeps alluding to, why would you not go to the source, the two people who are tasked with the protection of this institution?
Prosecutors must now decide whether to present the case against Meadows to a grand jury for possible criminal charges. Congress has approved a $2.5 trillion debt limit hike. They sent legislation to avert a catastrophic default to President Joe Biden's desk for a signature in the early morning hours. President Biden travels to tornado-damaged Kentucky today.
White House Press Secretary Jen Biden will deliver a message of comfort and hope.
We're here to help. We want to rebuild. We are going to stand by your side, and we're going to help your leaders do exactly that.
As he prepares to get briefed by local and state officials about the response effort and view tornado damage, the president says his administration is working to help people gain peace of mind. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Looking at Wall Street Dow futures right now are up 24 points. More of these stories at townhall.com.
Hi, it's Olivia Munn with my shelter pets, Frankie and Chance, reminding you that when you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the Humane Society of the United States, and Maddie's Fund.
Lawyer, author, host of Life, Liberty, and Levin on Fox News, Mark Levin is here every weekday evening from 6 till 9 p.m. on AM 600 WBOB and FM 101.1. News on WBOB, AM 600 and 101.1 FM.
Good morning, I'm Patrick Johnson. Jacksonville City Council voted against the repeal of the gas tax increase for Duval County. The 6 cent per gallon gas tax increase passed the council originally in May. The gas tax will target infrastructure projects around Jacksonville, such as the Emerald Trail Loop and renovating the Skyway. The gas tax increase is forecasted to generate about $960 million over the next 30 years. St. Johns County is the 10th fastest growing county in the country, according to census data. And with that growth comes some growing pains, including the need for more 911 dispatchers. That office is now looking to hire more dispatchers as the population continues to grow. There are currently 6 openings right now out of 45 spots. 2 people were injured after people in 2 different vehicles fired at each other while driving near downtown Jacksonville. Cops hearing the 2 gunshot victims arriving at a local hospital. The victims, both male, have non-life-threatening injuries, and the investigation continues. That's Jacksonville.radio news.
Good morning today, partly cloudy with a high around 74. This evening, cloudy and an overnight low of 62. Right now, it is 61 degrees. And here are some of the top stories we're bringing you this morning. The U.S. Senate passes a $2.5 trillion increase to the federal debt limit. It's the largest increase in history. The Treasury Department will no longer extend a moratorium on student loan payments. And the Wall Street Journal reports the smash and grab robberies taking place throughout the U.S. are being organized on social media outlets.
Contact the Ed Dean Radio Show on AM 600 WBOB. Call them 831-0600. 831-0600 or email ed@wbob.com. AM 600 and 101.1 FM. WBOB.
You know what, the time we had yesterday morning, Beverly and Angie and all them did a great job.
Yeah.
Breakfast. I'm glad we didn't announce it on the air. So we started at 8. I don't get off the air till 9, but it was a good time.
It's okay.
Just a great. The breakfast just okay?
Everything was good.
It was the bomb, man. So I just want to thank them, Seth. Hey, we got another fast-paced morning show. A lot of news to get to, and let's do it right now. Good to have everybody with us. We promise you, you will be entertained all the way to 9 a.m. It's Ed Dean, Roger Henderson, Talk Radio, WBOB. Last night, the House and the U.S. Senate passed a debt ceiling limit increase to $2.5 trillion. The Treasury says it'll now have enough money to get the U.S. for borrowing power into 2023.
It's the $2.5 trillion debt limit increase proposed by Democrats.
Responsible governing has won on this exceedingly important issue.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer praised Republicans for supporting a previous bill that provided fast-track approval of the debt limit, avoiding a filibuster and a 60-vote threshold. Republican leaders insisted on a mechanism that would force Democrats to raise the borrowing limit on their own. The $2.5 trillion increase raises the debt limit to more than $31 trillion, enough Schumer says to run into 2023.
Fox Radio, Jared Halpern. The Biden administration is doing another kill date. No more moratoriums like we saw with rental moratorium and other areas out there as well. Now the Biden administration says at the beginning of February, they plan to have federal student debt loan payments resume payments back again at the beginning of February. Some Senate Democrats aren't happy with it.
Some 43 million Americans are in for a rude awakening. A COVID moratorium on student loan payments expires, and the White House just squashed any progressive dreams of the president taking executive action to cancel student debt before then. The Brookings Institution suggests it'll cost $1.6 trillion to forgive all student debt and about $1 trillion to wipe out just $50,000 per person.
Fox News Show has seen some are asking whether or not the Democrats are going to be able to muster up enough votes, at least in the U.S. Senate side, to go along with their Build Back Better spending plan. But Yahoo Finance Rick Newman says if they're smart, they'll get it done before the end of 2021.
The urgency is mostly political. There's nothing that says this legislation has to pass by the end of 2021 or it's dead. But I think that what Democrats want to do is they want to get this done in 2021 so they can sort of start fresh next year and they don't have this lingering.
The U.S. military and especially the U.S. Air Force has announced that as currently 27 members and service member men and women of the armed forces, at least again in the U.S. Air Force side, has been discharged for not taking the COVID vaccine shot.
The Air Force discharged 27 service members after they refused to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Officials believe they are likely the first military members to be removed for defying the vaccine mandate. The Air Force had a November 2nd deadline to be fully vaccinated. 37 people were previously discharged for refusing the vaccine during basic training. According to Air Force officials, more than 97% of its active duty force is at least partially vaccinated as of last week. Now, the most recent data suggests that more than 1,000 Air Force members have refused the vaccine, so more discharges are very likely.
That is from the Associated Press. Smash and grab crime, some say it's being organized, and the Wall Street Journal reports in many states it's being organized on social media apps.
Large smash and grab retail robberies are being organized, according to the Wall Street Journal, on social media apps like Snapchat. But so far, the White House is not calling out social networks the way they did strongly out of concern about posts containing COVID disinformation.
That is from Fox News' Peter Ducey. And last night, by a vote of 13-5, a vote to repeal the Jackson local option gas tax increase went down.
This city council member proposed repealing the local option gas tax.
Look, this is about raising taxes. It's about whether you want to raise taxes on January 1st on people or you don't.
Just a little hot.
Argued to repeal and get support from about a third of her colleagues. Ultimately, a majority voted to keep the tax increase in place.
That's from News 4 Jack's Get Justice. We'll talk more about that and a lot of other news coming up next. 6:09 is Talk Radio WBOB.
Where are the tie-ups to avoid WBOB traffic?
Starting off the morning with some construction work happening on 95 headed south, right at mile marker 352. All lanes are blocked, so be aware. If you see anything, give us a call. 901-SAFE.
Today we'll have a mix of sunshine and clouds, the high 74. Cloudy this evening and a low of 62. Right now it's 61 degrees.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. Every year we have gentlemen come in with the same problem. They just don't know what to buy their wife for Christmas. Well, one thing we can start off telling them is they've come to the right place, because at Underwoods it's been our business since 1928 to keep in our stores what ladies want to own. We have a professional credentialed staff that'll treat you the way you expect to be treated, and they can really help solve your problem. We have North Florida's finest collection of diamond jewelry, an extensive collection of pearls. You might be interested in seeing some of the hot new designer jewelry pieces from names like David Yurman, John Hardy, or Roberto Coin. If it's a watch you want, we carry Rolex and other watches that are considered the best. And the one thing you'll love and she'll recognize is the hand-wrapped silver package with a satin ribbon our gifts come in. So make this a Christmas to remember. At Underwoods, San Marco, Avondale, or the shops of Ponte Vedra.
The IRS and state agencies don't wait till after the holidays to demand payment or take collection action. J. David Tax Law and our firm of experienced tax attorneys live and work in this community, and we are standing by to defend you or your business in any IRS or state tax debt. Helping people in our community is what we do. For that reason, we invite you to join us in our support of worthy local charities. In this season of giving, please consider donating to Dreams Come True, Sanctuary on 8th Street, Cars for Our Troops, Rethreaded, the Ronald McDonald House, and Pax's Canine Cure. These organizations do a wonderful job for those in need. At J. David Tax Law, we believe strongly in being a responsible corporate citizen by providing funding to charities that support our community. We invite you to do the same, and we wish you and your family a happy and safe holiday season. If you have tax problems, call us now at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777 for a no-cost consultation, or find us on the web at jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
Well, the cost of everything has gone through the roof. It's Dave. How would you like to have $750 put back into your pocket every single month? Imagine that. What would that do for you and your family? $750 every single month back into your pocket. You call my friend Andy Steik over at Purpose Funding, and that's the average a family saves every single month working a refinance through Andy at Purpose Funding.
And they don't even realize, because of the way their debt's positioned, they have a car that has a car payment that's $550 a month. Maybe they owe $25,000, $30,000 on it. You roll that into a loan, it's $100. I put myself in your situation because every deal is different. So I look at that and I say, if I was Dave, what would I do if it was me?
This is why I love Andy and his team at Purpose Funding. Call 888-991-1890. 888-991-1890. PurposeFunding.com. DRE number 017699. MLS number 286540.
WBOB is talk radio for Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia.
And here are some of the top stories we're bringing you this morning. The U.S. Air Force says 27 service members have been discharged for refusing to take the COVID vaccine. A move to repeal the local 6-cent gas tax increase was defeated last night by the Jacksonville City Council by a vote of 13-5. And when the Florida legislature meets next month, Governor Desantis says he wants legislation that will strengthen E-Verify enforcement.
Show on AM 600 WBOB.
Still just a little hot.
831-0600. 831-0600. Or email ed@wbob.com. AM 600 and 101.1 FM. WBOB.
Yeah, I can't wait to get to that local option gas tax. I just put up a very interesting post about the Republican Party. Not putting them down. I want to know where some consistency's at. If they're busy enough to go after Democrats for spending and taxing, which is fine, then why aren't they doing the same about their own? Just thought I'd ask you. Anyway.
Okay.
All right. Good to have everybody with us. It's Ed Dean, Roger Henderson. Let's get to the news. So they passed the debt ceiling limit increase. I'm not surprised by that. It says it's going to go well into 2023. It's a $2.5 trillion increase that the Treasury Department will have. It's the largest increase in history. Fox Radio, Jared Halperin.
A party line vote in the Senate advanced a $2.5 trillion debt limit increase proposed by Democrats.
Responsible governing has won on this exceedingly important issue.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer praised Republicans for supporting a previous bill that provided fast-track approval of the debt limit, avoiding a filibuster and a 60-vote threshold. Republican leaders insisted on a mechanism that would force Democrats to raise the borrowing limit on their own. The $2.5 trillion increase raises the debt limit to more than $31 trillion, enough Schumer says to run into 2023.
All right, hold on. Let me set some up here. So whatever you may think of Mitch McConnell, I think Mitch McConnell did a fabulous job getting the Trump appointees through when it came to judges. Mitch McConnell has not been one of my favorite U.S. senators because of this nonsense right here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's fine. You can always play defense or if your opponent's in the middle committing suicide, hanging himself, why do you need to pull the trigger? I get that. Democrats are running the show and the debt ceiling. For crying out loud, you didn't even put forth any effort to sit back and say, at least, hey, just tease me a little bit. At least give me some spending cuts. The Republicans didn't even do that, Raj.
What frustrates me is you would hope that members of the United States Senate are some of the smartest people we've got in the country.
No, you're giving too much credit.
Why in the world do we need to continually run our government on debt? Why can't we just pay as we go? But of course, I'm talking to a dead horse.
Here was the group, the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget. One of their spokespersons says, okay, here we go again. Debt interest. By the way, the debt interest is going to be the most expensive items in the federal budget.
That's what this is really about. The money going to pay interest is money that isn't being used to do anything else. And it's a huge amount of money roughly 8 years from now.
That's exactly right. If we do nothing to worsen the debt, and of course we're going to worsen the debt, within a quarter century, interest would actually be the single biggest line item in the entire government, more than Social Security, more than Medicare, more than defense. It's astronomical, and it erodes our ability to do much of anything else.
Yeah. But we can't pay anymore, or we can't do this for a program because we're basically paying much more on the interest on the U.S. debt.
Unbelievable.
But by the way, we know who to blame for all of this. This is almost like a daily thing. You thought Biden had the gaffes. Jen Psaki. Here we go, White House press secretary. Well, all of this debt happened before the president got into the White House.
I would say we are making absolutely clear that raising the debt limit is something that has been done historically 80 times in a bipartisan fashion, the vast majority, more times under Republican presidents than Democratic presidents.
Because there's been more Republican presidents when you look at the last 60 years, all right?
Total fiscal incompetence.
Yeah, here's more.
And when we're talking about what debt we're dealing with here, most of it, 99% of it, I believe, existed before President Biden took office.
Oh, my follow-up question, yes, I would agree with you.
Why would you want to add to it then?
Right, good point. And then I would follow up, yes, ma'am, I would agree. You mean the Obama-Biden administration along with Bush? Okay. Hey, by the way, we call it the way it is on this radio show. There is hypocrisy on the Republicans and their debt ceiling debate.
Yeah.
I get it. All right? But at least show the effort that you may want to put something there, something on skin in the game, Raj. Republicans didn't even do that.
Yeah.
Well, then it's a failure. Hey, it doesn't matter. I mean, dang if they do, dang if they don't, right? Is that what you're saying then? No, at least they should have put forth an effort on something like this. Roger, military members are being discharged. Kicked out for not taking the COVID vaccine shot. Here is the AP. This is just the beginning that's been reported. 27 members of the U.S. Air Force has been kicked out for not getting the COVID shot.
The Air Force discharged 27 service members after they refused to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Officials believe they are likely the first military members to be removed for defying the vaccine mandate. The Air Force had a November 2nd deadline to be fully vaccinated. 37 people were previously discharged for refusing the vaccine during basic training. According to Air Force officials, more than 97% of its active duty force is at least partially vaccinated as of last week. Now, the most recent data suggests that more than 1,000 Air Force members have refused the vaccine, so more discharges are very likely.
Can you imagine? Hey, I just got a couple of years left for retirement.
Right.
Can you imagine? And then, I'm not going to take the COVID vaccine. I'm in great health. I'm not getting sick. And by the way, people in many of these states with the Omicron and other variants of COVID are getting sick even after the vaccine shots and some boosters. Okay, that's fine. I mean, it's not fine. I'm just saying it's just, hey, if you want to get it, again, we're not telling you not to get it. but we're going to kick out. I mean, follow me, Raj. Maybe, am I off on this one, Raj? You can have a supply shortage at certain retailers. Okay, whatever. You can have a supply shortage at certain gas stores, right? Department stores.
Right.
You don't want a labor shortage when it comes to fire, police, and especially the prime group that defends this country, the U.S. military.
Exactly. It's a huge national security risk. You know, if potential adversaries realize that we're, basically eliminating some of our key people from being able to defend this country,
right,
it makes us all vulnerable.
I mean, think about it for a second. I don't care if you work at the mess hall. That is not degrading. You're working, okay? Mm-hmm. By the way, that's when I wanted to join the military, I wanted to work in the mess hall. You ever had a good burger out of the military? It's pretty good, Roger. But anyway, so when you look at this, I mean, you mean to tell me, and I'm just assuming we have a lot of military members that listen to this show. Maybe some of you can clarify this, but you've got, defense, you got intel, counterintelligence, sometimes which can be an oxymoron, but counterintelligence, and you mean to tell me they've been there, they're one of the best, they can dissect certain things of secrets that's going on that may try to harm this country, and you're going to get rid of him or her because they refuse to get the COVID shot?
Right. Plus, they've paid so much of a price to defend this country.
That's right.
And if they're just a couple of years away from retirement, they lose it all.
Here was the Liberty, Liberty First, the first Liberty attorney, Mike Berry. Remember these guys that were representing a bunch of Navy SEALs, Raj? They were going to use religious exemptions to get out of the COVID shot. This is what he said back in October.
First Liberty Institute represents a large group of U.S. Navy SEALs, but across the services, there are tens of thousands of service members who have a sincere religious objection to this vaccine, and they're being told that if you have a religious objection, you can go ahead and ask for one because that's what federal law requires and DOD regulations, right? We have to honor religious freedom in this country, but they're being told you can submit one, but it's never going to get granted, and even if it does get granted, you're going to get kicked out.
Well, so, Roger, then what's the point of submitting a religious exemption then?
Yeah. Well, at least try. Worst could happen, so you know.
It's just, we'll let you know. Yahoo Finance Rick Newman says Democrats probably don't want to go into the first of the year trying to get their Build Back Better spending plan, at least on the items going into an election season.
The urgency is mostly political. There's nothing that says this legislation has to pass by the end of 2021 or it's dead. But I think that what Democrats want to do is they want to get this done in 2021 so they can sort of start fresh next year and they don't have this lingering.
Wait a second, Roger, if they don't have the votes now, what are they? I mean, unless they try to go lower the amount or something, I don't see them getting the votes in January.
No, it's not going to happen. Yeah, probably even less likely, to be frank with you. We're heading into, election season.
Neil Bradley, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, says the two biggest concerns of what's going on with small business, of course, is inflation and worker shortage. By the way, he says something here at the end. I want you guys to catch this about retaining loyal employees.
Two principal headwinds hurting small businesses are inflation and the worker shortage crisis. 71% report that it's having an impact on their business. 63% report they've already had to raise prices this year because of growing inflation. That's compounded, of course, by the worker shortage crisis. We have a record number high, both current pandemic and pre-pandemic, of small businesses wanting to hire at 38%. But they can't find workers to fill those open jobs, and they're increasingly having trouble retaining those workers.
That was the key thing that caught my attention. I know I got to take a break here, but this is what I was getting at, Raj. I got about 45 seconds. I understand we read all about the bonuses, people trying to get in to come to get you to work. I'm more curious. The story that catches my attention is what is current. You're very loyal to a company. What are they offering you to keep you around? That's the news I want to hear.
Stick around. Are you getting a retention bonus? That's a
Roger, I'd be more curious about that story, wouldn't you?
The state of Florida seems to be doing that.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. But I'm saying, but private sector, I don't hear a lot.
Right.
And I'm always curious. I get it. It's, hey, we're always bringing new business in, but no one looks out for existing business. I get that argument, believe me. But I know I got to take a break. But I mean, new employees, but what are we doing for current employees? I'm just always curious about that.
Yeah.
Always been very, very curious or what are they even offering you? What are maybe some of you even hear? To me, that's more the fascinating story. All right, Ed Dean, Roger Henderson. All right, 904-831-0600, 904-831-0600. Yeah, I'm just kind of curious to those of you out there. I don't care if it's a friend of a friend like Roger has. Tell me what you're hearing. I get new employees, but are they doing – here's the thing real quick, Raj. are we doing more to attract new employees than we are to keep current employees?
I see it would depend on the business.
That's the question I ask. I mean, a lot of you out there are in this.
And it's real easy to take your current crop for granted, to be frank with you.
I'm just kind of curious. Some of you out there, has your company offered you bonuses to keep you around? I'm not going to ask any personal questions. I am very, very curious about this story, about what they're doing to keep you around. All right, 904-831-0600. The email address is ed@wbob.com.
Where are the tie-ups to avoid WBOB traffic?
Some slow traffic on Southside Boulevard headed north, just past Gate. You're going to add an extra 4 minutes, and if you see anything that'll help your friends stay safe, give us a call, 901-SAFE.
Today we'll have a mix of sunshine and clouds, the high 74. Cloudy this evening and a low of 62. Right now it's 61 degrees.
This traffic report is brought to you by J. David Tax Law. When you owe the IRS and can't pay, go to jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
I'm Mark Kinder with Affordable Water. If you have a water treatment system for your home or business, be sure that you have your filter changed periodically. If you don't, solids can build up in the filter and your system becomes less effective. Affordable Water can make sure your system has filters with the correct micron rating. We can take care of anything else you need to have the best water available. Affordable Water, 262-0197. That's Affordable Water, 262-0197. License number W32.
Canines for Warriors is ending veteran suicide and returning our warriors to a life of dignity and independence.
Maybe you've been in the military for 20 some odd years and you never fired your weapon, but you've seen things and you've heard things and you've witnessed terrible things that have happened to not only your friends but citizens. That builds up, and then I got sent home for medical treatment. They told me straight up, hey, you got problems.
Canines for Warriors pair specially trained service dogs with vets in need.
And we're asking pointed questions because we're trying to pair them with a good match for them, a good dog. And so we kind of have guided conversations, what the warrior requires and how we can best suit that with our dogs.
Your generosity will go right to work to help pair a struggling warrior with a shelter dog trained to help veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder, traumatic brain injury, and or military sexual trauma. Give your best gift today by going to caninesforwarriors.org.
Doug Mead has completed thousands of real estate transactions. For over 30 years, he's helped sellers deal with just about every kind of issue you can imagine. Doug buys houses and pays cash as is with no additional closing costs to the seller. With a clear title, Doug will buy your house, vacant land, or commercial property and close when you're ready. IPayCashForHouses.com. I pay cash, the number 4, houses.com. Or call or text 904-382-1084. Doug is here for you.
Cancer. So many lives are touched by cancer. In fact, 1 in 2 men and 1 in 3 women will be diagnosed with cancer. At the Society, we're on a mission to free the world from cancer. It's a big mission, driven by little things, like a ride to treatment, a free place to stay, a 24/7 helpline. But these little things are really the big things, because to a cancer patient and their family, they're everything. And every day, we reach thousands of cancer patients who so desperately need these services. But we need your help to get these critical services.
I'll go straight to you and play liner.
Families in need this holiday season. Go to cancer.org and join the fight against cancer. It takes just minutes to donate and help provide essential support to cancer patients and their families. Don't wait. More than 1 in 3 people will be diagnosed with cancer. Go to cancer.org right now and make a difference. Go to cancer.org.
All right, we're going to be taking some calls coming up in a couple of moments. I just got to take a bottom of the half-hour break at 904-831-0600. A lot of stories fascinate me. They're not all political, but if small business has a problem, maybe because they're not able to afford to pay as much as the bigger companies, I get that. But what are we doing enough to keep our current employees around? We don't hear enough about those stories. And my question to you, are we too busy spending more money trying to attract new employees, but are we forgetting about those that already work at your local store, or your local restaurant, your local manufacturing company? I'm always just curious to hear that. What are they offering? I'm not going to try to, you don't have to tell me certain specifics of where you work. I would never want to put you on a spot like that. I'm just kind of curious, what are they offering to maintain the retention of current employees. Just to me, I just find it's a very interesting story that's being very much underreported. 904-831-0600. All of this coming up next. It's Ed and Roger Talk Radio, WBOB.
AM 600 and 101.1 FM, the conservative voice of Jacksonville. WBOB.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Last night on Capitol Hill, the House voted to hold former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows in contempt of Congress for failing to cooperate with the panel's investigation into the melee on January 6th. Republican Congressman Michael Burgess, meanwhile, criticizing the Democrats in control of the Rules Committee for not subpoenaing some records from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. Prosecutors will now decide whether to present the case against Meadows to a grand jury for possible criminal charges. In the wee hours of the morning, Congress approved a $2.5 trillion debt limit hike, sending legislation to avert a catastrophic default to President Biden for his expected signature. And the president today will travel to Kentucky. He'll get a first-hand look at the tornado damage. On Wall Street right now, Dow futures are up by 8 points. NASDAQ futures off 30. More on these stories at srnnews.com.
AM 600, 101.1 FM, WBOB News.
Good morning. I'm Patrick Johnson. Jacksonville city leaders voted against repealing the implementation of the 6-cent gas tax increase. It's set to go into effect in January. Board member Leanna Cumber.
Look, this is about raising taxes. It's about whether you want to raise taxes on January 1st on people or you don't.
13 voted to keep the gas tax hike in place. 5 voted to remove it. The gas tax was approved by city leaders in May. Mayor Lenny Curry in favor of the gas tax hike. JSO investigating after a woman's car was struck by gunfire in the Norwood neighborhood last night. Apparently, there was an exchange of gunfire between 2 cars. 2 males were taken to the hospital as a result of the incident later on, suffering from non-life-threatening injuries. And a 10-year-old boy who had been hospitalized following a hit and run on the west side, now back home, recovering. That's Jacksonville.radio news.
Florida's leader in gate access and video controls is right here in Jacksonville. Sunbelt Gated Access Systems. Call the professionals at Sunbelt Gated Access Systems today for your building security needs. Sunbelt Gated Access Systems has everything you need from custom gates and security cameras to cloud-based building access control. Sunbelt Gated Access Systems partners with major product vendors that allows them to customize a system for all your security needs. Florida's leader is also serving Southeast Georgia. Visit sunbeltsys.com. Sunbeltsys.com. Where are the tie-ups to avoid WBOB traffic?
Some slow traffic on Southside Boulevard headed north just past Gate. You're going to add an extra 4 minutes, and if you see anything that'll help your friends stay safe, give us a call. 901-SAFE.
Today we'll have a mix of sunshine and clouds, the high 74. Cloudy this evening and a low of 62. Right now it's 61 degrees. And here are some of the top stories we're bringing you this morning. Some progressives are angry at President Biden after the administration announced they would no longer extend a moratorium on student loan payments. The Wall Street Journal reports the smash and grab robberies taking place throughout the U.S. are being organized on social media outlets. And the U.S. Senate passes a $2.5 trillion increase to the federal debt limit. It's the largest increase in history. The Treasury Department says they have enough borrowing room to make it into 2023.
Contact the Ed Dean Radio Show on AM 600 WBOB by calling 831-0600, 831-0600, or email ed@wbob.com. AM 600 and 101.1 FM. WBOB.
All right, let's take some calls. Don't forget, you can go to WBOB.com. Right there, you can download the radio app, put it on your iPhones, your smartphones. Take us anywhere you would like. It's free. There's no charge. And then you can also watch us on Facebook. You can watch us through the smartphones as well. Facebook Live. Just go to Facebook.com, type in Ed and Roger Morning Show. Justin on line 1. Justin, thank you for waiting. Good morning. How are you, man?
Good morning, Ed. Morning, Roger.
Hey, bro.
Hey, I wanted to make a comment on the you asked what kind of benefits or perks were companies willing to provide.
Are you going to tell me? No, hold on. Let me just ask a question. Are they doing? I mean, you can give me both. What are they doing for current employees and then for new employees? Or if you can only comment whatever, I mean, I'll take them both.
Well, as far as new employees, I don't really know for sure because I'm not super new. But
Okay.
I've seen a few come through, and I've seen a couple. I work in construction. I've seen a couple guys leave 2 days on the job and not come back.
Well, yeah, I believe that.
So that's pretty typical, though. You know, some guys are just built different. You know,
Right.
So, and that's fine. But as far as what I can speak on, I'll say I went to my boss and I asked him if I could take the work truck home from now on, and he said, "Yes, sir, no problem."
No way.
So to me, I consider that a perk. You know, this is a truck that I drive every day to accomplish my job. He trusts me to do that. I asked him, can I just take it home every day, park it at the house, it's protected, it's safe? He said, yes. I considered that a perk, and I appreciated that. And that scored points for me.
That's interesting. Hold on. Now I gotta have a little fun here. Is it? By the way, Roger, you got to see some of these construction trucks. They are. It is. If I can use the word, as one of my friends is, they're pretty much pimped out. All right. So I'm saying, is it one of those
F-150 with spinners?
Yeah. Is it one of those nice F-150 ones there, Justin? Where it's like, hey man, I might want to take the girlfriend out for a nice day because it's nicer than the normal car I drive.
Oh no, this is a truck you see on like the side of the road in Rogers neighborhood. We're all around. Everywhere working.
That's wow. That's a good. So they had. So they didn't question you. I mean, you've been a very loyal employee. They just said, yeah, no problem. Go ahead and take it home.
Yeah.
Obviously, the employer pays the insurance. Do you have to buy your own gas and make oil changes and that kind of thing, or no?
Nope. It's all. I got a company credit card. I get gas when I need it.
Oh man.
They tell me they keep the truck on an oil change schedule, and so it gets its oil change on schedule.
Man, you know,
So,
Justin, I need to
take care of it.
I need to pay you some money. I have where I hunt. I mean, we use ATVs and all that kind of stuff, but I got a nice truck, but it's not a 4-wheel drive. I don't want to get all muddy all the time. So anyway, but no. Hey, Justin, let me ask you a question. What is in the construction field, as you have said, there, I would assume there's a lot of turnover. What are they? And I'm not asking you to get in your certain specifics, but I would agree that is a fabulous perk that you got. But how are they trying to at least keep on current employees, or is it like it's pretty much job security because you guys I mean, you got so much backlog going on that you could be working for the next 10 years guaranteed?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what what kind of position a guy is put in to try and keep and retain those people. Because they are valuable people,
right?
And that's a hard one because everybody's a little bit different.
But for you to get the truck, that was the deal, right?
Well, I mean, yeah,
I like
could
it.
Go somewhere else and have it, and there's other things that he could have pitched back and offered that would have sufficed.
Man, hey, listen, I got to go, man. I'm glad you called. That's kind of an interesting story. I like that.
Yeah, it's a really good way for employees to keep employers, is because the issue is, and once they get used to driving that car and maybe they don't have another car, it's hard to just quit that at that point. You know, so you have some guaranteed, almost guaranteed employee loyalty there because they need transportation.
Yeah, I get a company credit card once a year. It's a $10 gift card to Chick-fil-A. That's my company gift card. So anyway, all right. So I want to get to some news here coming up in just a couple of moments. 904-831. Thanks for the call again. 904-831-0600. 904-831-0600. By the way, the U.S. military one we've been covering where they're discharging military members.
Right.
Here's one from Ed. Ed, so we train military people, teach them to kill, and then we tick them off? That's smart. I like this. We're going to get to a lot of other emails coming up in just a couple of moments. So. All right, Matt Caldwell, here on our Newsmaker line, former state rep. He is a Fox radio news analyst down in Southwest Florida. So, hey, I got to ask you, I was texting you earlier about a couple of the issues I wanted to chat about. But so we did a story at FloridaDaily.com. Now, you know where we reside. You know, we're statewide. I'm on the road doing the show here, Melbourne, Orlando, several times in Tampa, Jacksonville. But, Matt, you do a lot of it down in Southwest Florida and Naples, which Florida Daily has a presence on some of the stations down there. Some of our guys go on the groups that you're associated with. We had, and we've seen this and I know you're not one of these guys. Because you're a former state rep, we have seen over the last several years, Florida Republicans, evidently the word Republican has school sales tax. Republicans, the property tax maybe, but they don't have a problem of supporting the gasoline tax. For example, up in Jacksonville, the majority of Republicans up there decided to keep the gas tax there, but we may want to go along with the governor's suspension of a gasoline tax. Matt, the bottom line is I expect this from Democrats, but this has been something that's been ongoing with Republicans in this state. What's going on?
It's absolutely outrageous, Ed. I mean, honestly, I have never found a situation, every example you just gave, where the problem was not enough money. The problem is always how they spend it,
right,
what their priorities are. And it doesn't matter, and here's the other side of it, Ed. It doesn't matter how much you give them. If you made the sales tax 50% on everything you sold, they would find a way to spend it. It's an attitude about spending. It's an attitude about government. And this is a flag, folks. If you see, I don't care what they say is their jersey they wear.
Right.
If they're out there advocating for big government, they're not out there advocating for you and your personal protection and your personal rights.
Yeah, I'm just asking. I mean, many city governments bragged in the state. Let me just talk about Florida for a second, okay? And even I, who am a big fan of the governor, but all of this X amount of this is exploding amount of money that we spent on for the budget of last year or last session, I was like, what? But anyway, what I'm saying is we got Republicans. You and I are conservatives out there, all right? We're conservative Republicans, but it doesn't matter. I mean, they brag about being fiscal responsibility, and in the next sentence, and by the way, we got all of this COVID relief money coming in, which they balance many of your. We're talking about local elected officials. They balance many of your books on the back of COVID money, which many of these guys campaign against. I'm just like, where is the conservatism? Matt, I get the social conservatism, which you and I are both in, Roger, but give me some fiscal conservatism. I'm just not seeing it right now, at least locally.
You're not. You're not. I think they feel like they've got carte blanche with the way the economy for the longest time under Trump was doing so well. So people weren't paying as much attention to it. And then now with COVID, they feel like they've got carte blanche to go out there and push these strong policies. It really is frustrating, Ed, because it's not these, your super rural communities where you really are strapped for cash, right? You've got small towns and counties in this state that go up to their 10 mil limit on their taxes, and
right,
they still don't raise. They don't even raise $1 million for their whole jurisdiction,
yeah,
right? They don't have money to pay for their police.
Now,
but it's not them asking for it.
Roger,
you're like you just said.
Yeah, I'm not to interrupt you. By the way, our good friend Matt Caldwell, Fox News radio analyst down in Southwest Florida. Roger, I tell this story all the time. So this was Matt got in 2010, right? Matt, you were elected in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
So you weren't part of that Republican year in 2009 that supported all that stimulus money, and Obama had raised taxes, by the way. So Matt was not part of that. But I got to tell you a funny story, Raj. So when Obama came into office, I was a local reporter at a local newspaper and radio station down in Melbourne, Florida. Okay, Matt? And I remember they rushed. Remember, Obama got elected. Remember, we were supposed to, this is funny, we were supposed to vote for the bailouts, which I wasn't a fan of, the Wall Street bailout, to keep us from the fiscal cliff of going to another Great Depression. Fascinating story.
Right.
I can listen to these both sides all day. Then
He's listening to Warren Buffett.
Yeah. And then 3 months later, we had to pass the stimulus. We're ready to go into another Great Depression. I'm like, well, wait, you just told me you just told me you passed one bill. So follow me for a second. Matt, do you remember that when Obama got elected in January, this thing was passed in the month of March? And what happened is all these city governments started releasing what they wanted for, quote, stimulus money in return to promote the economy in their own local area. And I remember the city of Palm Bay, Florida, all right, which is about 45 minutes south of Kennedy Space Center. Republicans, by the way, said, we need $5 million for a brand new city hall. And I sat back and go, well, wait, how is this government, how is this economic opportunity, how is this economic revival in your local community by spending money on $5 million for City Hall? Matt, and this is what I'm saying is, this is the type of nonsense that we're still seeing that's even happening with some of the COVID relief money that we're getting in from the feds.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's a wish list. You pointed out that a lot of it in the local level is the school districts with their option taxes. And then you go look at these school districts, they're building palaces, absolute palaces. Look, these are beautiful campuses, beautiful football stadiums, beautiful places. But is that really what we should be paying for? Do we need to make ourselves just like the rest of New York and California and high taxes in order to pay for that? I don't think so. I don't think that's what the people that are coming here in droves are looking for. They're coming to Florida for what we have consistently been in the past, which is responsible, low-tax, freedom-loving Florida. And if we let these local officials, sign up, get tempted, as you point out, by stimulus bags of cash, or push these major tax increases at the local level, it starts to stack up, and it makes our big metro communities uncompetitive with the country.
Talk to me. We got a story, Roger, coming out in FloridaDaily.com, I think this week or over the holidays. And it's about how powerful will the teachers' unions be in the state of Florida. We've exposed them. Roger and I heard from many parents out there. They didn't like the schools being shut down and the COVID protocol, heavily pushed by the unions. But they're still very powerful here in the state of Florida. Matt, is their safeguard is like what you have down there, what we see these elections? Do we sit back and say, well, the unions have been hurt or they've been exposed during COVID, but that doesn't mean you're going to kick them to the curb when it comes to election season, does it?
No, it doesn't at all. And there is a bill in the legislature to bring back partisan elections to the school districts. I think it would be a good change. Look, particularly as long as we have a mixed system, right? Voters are not dumb, but they're impatient. And if you give them a partisan race for most everything else they vote on, I mean, the legislature, Congress, your county commissioners, your sheriffs, and all that are all partisan. And then you're like, why are you not telling me what's going on in this one race on my ballot? It is very frustrating and confusing to voters. And so let's be consistent. We know people are wearing jerseys; they're just hiding it. These Democrats that run for board are Democrats. They're just trying to hide it under their "I love the schools" T-shirt they're throwing on top. But when they get in office, they're bringing their policies. And so voters should know.
It's funny. It's you know what? If you're a conservative running for school board, what you should say is for the kids, because that's what the Democrats use all the time. And then when you sit back and say, well, fine, I wanted to do it for the kids to allow them more in-style learning or more in-house learning. If we couldn't go to the schools, more school choice. For the kids, enough of the mask mandates out there. Why not just use the reverse psychology against the libs for school elections this year?
Absolutely. It's always for the kids. It's always for the classroom. Get your candidates that are running this cycle. Make sure that they've been in the classroom. I mean, have they been a substitute? Did they volunteer for the PTA? Don't bring up the person that's, just moved here yesterday and never had a kid and never actually been in the classroom. Don't give the layup to the teachers union to run their candidates. I've been a teacher for 35 years and I'm the only one that knows what's going on. Get out there, find your conservatives. They're there, that have taught in the classroom, that have worked in the school system, and get them to run for these offices for the kids.
Yeah, exactly. I hope. Yeah. Hey, by the way, I heard from some listeners. Roger and I got literally 45 seconds. Would you rather put more business people in the local school election offices, or would you rather put people that are at least experienced when it comes to education?
Well, I'd like to get both, but you could definitely use somebody that's actually balanced the checkbook on
Amen.
these boards.
Amen. Man, I said I had 45 seconds, and he took 4.5 seconds. That's good. So anyway, I like the way you think on that one. And by the way, none of these transgender issues. By the way, you think that's going to come up as an issue this year or next year?
It's going to continue to push. I mean, the culture has to decide where we're going to be on this question and how we want to raise our kids.
I'm with you on that one. Matt Caldwell, who's going to fill in some stuff for over the holidays for us as well and things like that. So anyway, Matt Caldwell, former state rep, one of my favorites, good friend of this radio show. Now he's on Fox Radio down in Southwest Florida, down in the Naples area. So, hey, thanks for coming on, brother.
Always a pleasure, guys.
All right. I still think it's a hot issue, local education, as it always should be. All right. More coming up next. Ed Dean, Roger Henderson, Talk Radio, WBOB.
Where are the tie-ups to avoid WBOB traffic?
Some slow traffic on Southside Boulevard headed north just past Gate. You're going to add an extra 4 minutes, and if you see anything that'll help your friends stay safe, give us a call. 901-SAFE.
Today we'll have a mix of sunshine and clouds, the high 74. Cloudy this evening and a low of 62. Right now it's 61 degrees.
Honest Abe Roofing guarantees your new roof will be installed correctly. After your new roof is installed, Honest Abe Roofing gives you a written guarantee. The guarantee ensures that as long as you own your home, you'll never roof again. Honest Abe takes care of all repairs and maintenance at no charge to you. You won't get that from Chuck and his truck. Call Honest Abe Roofing, 904-341-ROOF. Get free gutters now with any roof installation.
We spend 90% of our lives in the air we breathe indoors is filled with airborne viruses, bacteria, mold, and other toxins that pollute our air, making you feel tired, less productive, and can risk your health. Protect the air you breathe with Bright Light Air. Bright Light Air is a chemical-free, green, patented technology. It creates the same air purification process that occurs in nature through solar and geothermal energies to keep your space clean. It's already being used in schools, universities, sports arenas, and hospitals. It's proven to be effective in eliminating 99% of viruses, bacteria, mold, and fungi. And now it's available for your home. Bring nature's air quality indoors. Visit brightlightair.com to learn more or call 833-444-BREATHE because keeping your family safe is a priority.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. If you're interested in buying a fine quality diamond, but might start with a smaller diamond and then over time grow that to a larger size diamond, at Underwoods we have a way to do that, and we've been doing it for more than 50 years. We call it Grow a Diamond, and here's how it works. When a customer buys an Underwood engagement ring, solitaire diamond pendant, or a pair of ear studs, we guarantee they get the price they paid for it on the purchase of any bigger diamond. Now, a lot of stores would say, big deal, we do that too, but here's the Underwood difference. We guarantee you get what you paid when you trade in your Underwood diamond, even if you're only trading up by $1. It's not that you have to trade up 2 for 1 like most jewelers ask. We've done this with thousands of customers through the years, so if you're interested in growing a diamond, come by and see us at Underwood, Avondale, or the shops of Ponte Vedra.
This is Chris from Hangar Bay Cafe, answering FAQ number 14. Were you in the military? What did you do? I served in the Navy. As a helicopter pilot, I've chased drug boats in the Caribbean, rescued people from snowy mountains and the ocean. I've also been a fixed-wing flight instructor teaching students to fly. Join us for lunch or dinner at 2294 Mayport Road and check out the menu at hangarbaycafe.com.
Financial Issues with Dan Celia at 9 this morning. Now, back to the Ed Dean Radio Show on AM 600 and 101.1 FM, WBOB.
Here are some of the top stories we're bringing you this morning. A move to repeal the local 6-cent gas tax increase was defeated last night by the Jacksonville City Council by a vote of 13-5. When the Florida legislature meets next month, Governor Desantis says he wants legislation that will strengthen E-Verify enforcement. And the U.S. Air Force says service members have been discharged for refusing to take the COVID vaccine. Christmas shopping is easy 7 days a week at A. Army Navy Depot, San Juan and Blanding. A. Army Navy Depot is Jacksonville's only military surplus store with 4,000 square feet of camo clothes, insulated coveralls, M65 field coats, flight jackets, watch caps, gloves, and more. Check out the camping and survivor needs, military flags and pens, security, DOC, and first responder gear. Gift cards are available in 30-day layaway. A. Army Navy Depot, 4721 San Juan Avenue at Blanding.
Fishing in Florida attracts millions of visitors to our state, supports more than 100,000 jobs, and contributes to $35 billion in our state's water-based economy each year. The future of Florida's fishing industry depends on a healthy Everglades. Protect our fishing. Restore America's Everglades. Learn more at evergladesfoundation.org.
Here's a great thing to consider doing right now before the end of the year. Call Medishare and find out just how much you would save by switching to Medishare, the affordable alternative to health insurance. When you call, you'll get some good news and probably be very happily surprised, too. The typical family saves $500 a month, but you might save even more. It's so worth it to at least find out. And you'll see why more than 400,000 people are already members. Medishare is a Christian community that shared more than $4 billion in each other's healthcare costs. It really is remarkable, and they're very easy to talk to. And here's the thing. If you join before the end of the year, they'll waive your new member fee. That's another $170 you'll save. I'll give you the number here in a second. The call, and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is December 31st, so call now. You'll save even more. Call 844-55-BIBLE. That's 844-55-BIBLE. 844-55-BIBLE.
Would you like a Christmas gift that also makes you a winner for Valentine's Day? Reserve your stateroom on Family Life's Love Like You Mean It Marriage Cruise, February 6th through the 13th, sailing from Port Canaveral on Royal Caribbean's Harmony of the Sea. 7 nights, 3 exotic ports. Family Life takes the whole ship and brings their own speakers and entertainers, all designed to enrich your marriage. Put this gift under your tree and find each other again. Use the promo code WBOB for 25% off. Go to lovelikeYouMeanItCruise.com.
Transmission problems? Call Action Transmission Specialists on Merrill Road, where you get the work done right the first time by the experts. I'm Robin Sidbury, the owner. Our techs can service all makes and models, and we provide a nationwide warranty, so you have the peace of mind knowing we solve your transmission troubles fairly and honestly and guaranteed nationwide. Call us at Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road, where quality counts. Get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Contact the Ed Dean Radio Show on AM 600 WBOB by calling 831-0600, 831-0600, or email ed@wbob.com. AM 600 and 101.1 FM, WBOB.
So last night, and this is kind of predictable, but I'm glad, hey, I had no problem with doing this. 5 Republicans voted, rightfully so, that showed that they are the R under on their shirt, like S for Superman, that they are Republicans, at least you would think, and I think they are. Randy DeFore, I have a little thing with Randy, but on certain issues, but I like Randy. Al Ferrara, I like Al. Lana Cumber, I think Lana Cumber knocked out the ballpark. She champions. Our guy, Rory Diamond, and Danny Becton. Just remember Danny Becton. I don't think Danny's the greatest PR guy out there, but I like his votes. I think Danny's running for property appraiser.
Okay.
So, I don't know yet. Just, I've heard. So, anyway, the vote last night to repeal the gas tax, 6 cents, because all these guys that talked about voting in favor of it are now like, hey, man, I don't have a problem with DeSantis suspending it. Then why would you... It doesn't make sense. Gasoline was already high back in May of last year when you supported it. So what's the difference now? It's already high as it is, but now you support repealing it, but you voted in favor of it. I mean, no, you supported suspending it when Governor DeSantis wants to do it, but you don't want to repeal it right now. But we want to put it off, but we couldn't put it off. Okay, never mind. I know, folks, it's confusing. News 4 Jack's Kent Justice, Lana Cumber, Councilwoman Leanna Cumber was the one that spearheaded all this.
This city council member proposed repealing the local option gas tax.
Look, this is about raising taxes. It's about whether you want to raise taxes on January 1st on people or you don't.
Leanna Cumber argued to repeal and got support from about a third of her colleagues. Ultimately, a majority voted to keep the tax increase in place.
And by the way, the majority are Republicans. Republicans run the Jacksonville City Council. So I put this on Facebook. So we did it. We put it on the Team Reality page on Facebook, and we put it on my Facebook page. My personal one, which is the one I really use. The local Republican Party leadership, who I get along very well with, good people, if they want to put out things about the Democrats and Tracy Paulson, how they are tax and spend liberals and Donna Deegan, and they're right on that, are we to expect we're going to see another press release by the local Republican Party leadership here out of Duval County to put out a press release about the tax and spend Republicans who did not do the will, because the majority of people don't support the gas tax. You've seen the polls on that. Are we going to see a press release by our local Republican leadership on this? Don't hold your breath. I'm just saying, where's the consistency? I bet you if they did it, the local Republican Party leadership, your fundraising would double. Because they want to give money to people that are looking out for their back pocket. And by the way, these Republicans that voted in favor of it, I get along with them. They're just dead wrong.
It might be in the local party GOP charter where they can't go after.
Yeah, they can do it. They can do it. They can do it. Don't make excuses. They can do it. All right. And the mayor supports this as well. Man, I've never seen a mayor more pro-tax, Republican. than some of my years covering stories. Man, what am I, in South Florida? What's going on here? I expect this from South Florida Republicans. All right, more coming up next. Talk Radio WBOB.
AM 600 WBOB Jacksonville, 101.1 FM W266CX Fruit Cove, the conservative voice of Jacksonville.
Breaking news this hour at townhall.com. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The House has voted to hold former Trump White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows in contempt of Congress. As Andrew Stewart reports, the vote comes after Meadows stopped cooperating with the January 6th committee investigating the U.S. Capitol riot.
Well, the House vote now sends this matter to the U.S. Attorney's Office here in Washington. Prosecutors there will decide whether to present this case to a grand jury for possible criminal charges.
That is correspondent Andrew Stewart. As Greg Cluxton reports, Meadows received a flurry of urgent text messages during the Capitol melee.
Former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows heard from the Trump family and close allies as the U.S. Capitol was attacked on January 6th. The House panel investigating the riot released texts that were provided by Meadows. Donald Trump Jr. demanded an Oval Office address from his father, saying it has gone too far and gotten out of hand.
That is correspondent Greg Cluxton reporting. The head of the United Nations nuclear watchdog warned on Tuesday that the restrictions faced by his inspectors in Iran threaten to give the world what he called a very blurred image of Tehran's nuclear program.
If you want to be a respected country in the community of nations, there's no way around it. We have to work together.
That's International Atomic Energy Agency Director General Rafael Mariano Grossi. What's your religion? In the U.S., a growingly common response is none.
When Americans are asked by pollsters about their religious identity, the fastest growing major group consists of those who don't affiliate with any organized religion. Some are atheists, some agnostic, and many describe themselves as spiritual but not religious. According to one new survey by the Pew Research Center, they now account for 29% of American adults, up from 19% 10 years ago. The religiously unaffiliated used to concentrate in urban coastal areas, but now they live across the U.S., representing a diversity of ages, ethnicities, and socioeconomic backgrounds.
That's Walter Ratliff. More of these stories at Town.
News on WBOB, AM 600 and 101.1 FM.
Good morning, I'm Patrick Johnson. A woman has been arrested after she admitted to poisoning her partner's drink. JSO says when officers arrived to the residence about a week ago, Alvis Parrish was sitting on her front porch yelling, "Yeah, I did it," because he wouldn't shut the blank up. She also admitted to giving him just enough to shut him up and called authorities so he wouldn't die. Parrish had poisoned her partner's lemonade with an antipsychotic drug. Parrish and her partner have been together for 9 years. The Jacksonville City Council has rejected the 6-cent gas tax repeal. 5 voted for, 13 against. The increase set to go into effect in January. The idea is to raise nearly $1 billion over the next 30 years to pay for infrastructure projects. And in the wake of the Kronos ransomware attack, 3 local hospitals say employee pay will not be impacted. That's Jacksonville.radio news.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone? Do flowers have best friends? I don't know. Hey, look. Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Jacksonville's only morning local political talk show, the Ed Dean Radio Show. News, opinion, and your chance to call in with your opinion. Weekdays 6 till 9 a.m. on AM 600 WBOB. Where are the tie-ups to avoid WBOB traffic?
Some light traffic on 95 headed north, right before 295. You're going to add about 5 minutes in that usual slow traffic on Butler Boulevard headed east, right between San Pablo and Hodges. Add an extra 4 minutes. If you see anything, give us a call. 901-SAFE.
Today we'll have a mix of sunshine and clouds, the high 74. Cloudy this evening and a low of 62. Right now it's 61 degrees. And here are some of the top stories we're bringing you this morning. The Wall Street Journal reports the smash and grab robberies taking place throughout the U.S. are being organized on social media outlets. The U.S. Senate passes a $2.5 trillion increase to the federal debt limit. It's the largest increase in history. The Treasury Department will now have enough borrowing room to make it into 2023. And some progressives are angry with President Biden after the administration announced they would no longer extend a moratorium on student loan payments.
Contact the Ed Dean Radio Show on AM 600 WBOB by calling 831-0600, 831-0600, or email ed@wbob.com. AM 600 and 101.1 FM, WBOB.
Hey, we are the only caffeine you need. I got to have a cup of coffee every morning. Roger doesn't seem to have one. I keep offering him one. But what's the point of having it at 7 o'clock when you go on the air at 6? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And by the way, enough with yesterday's coffee. It's Christmas time. You need to start making some demands around here to retain your gloriness here on the morning show. I keep offering you. You need to tell Angie, I want fresh coffee, man.
She's not here at 5 a.m.
No, yeah. Well, we need to get her here. Employment retention I did with you, man.
You're funny.
I know. I love you, dude. No, I always like offering to want to bring you coffee, but you never ask. You're a very humble guy. I mean that. You don't ask for a lot.
I probably ought to just get a curry. And
dude, you make a boatload of money. Do you want one for Christmas? I'm taking Roger out to lunch next week, and a guy makes more. I said, Roger, I'm buying. How can you make excuses? So anyway, but come on. 7:05. By the way, I say that when it's not the holidays. You know that, too. When he's off for the week, I'm like, dude, I missed you, man. Good morning, everybody. It's the 3 fastest hours anywhere in Morning Talk Radio. Sit back. The Morning Drive, I guarantee it. I put my stamp of approval on it. You will be entertained, fast-paced, as we go all the way with you to 9 a.m. right here on Talk Radio, WBOB. Last night, the defaulting on the U.S. debt was not going to happen as the House and the Senate passed the largest increase ever, $2.5 trillion, to make sure that the government debt ceiling limit was increased. And according to the Department of Treasury, it will last into 2023.
A party line vote in the Senate advanced a $2.5 trillion debt limit increase proposed by Democrats.
Responsible governing has won on this exceedingly important issue.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer praised Republicans for supporting a previous bill that provided fast-track approval of the debt limit, avoiding a filibuster and a 60-vote threshold. Republican leaders insisted on a mechanism that would force Democrats to raise the borrowing limit on their own. The $2.5 trillion increase raises the debt limit to more than $31 trillion, enough, Schumer says, to run into 2023.
That's Fox Radio, Jared Halpern. Liberals are angry at President Biden because he will end the student loan repayment moratorium. That's the debt repayment that many are paying back after going to college. This moratorium ends, and those paying off their student loans will have to resume payments by the 1st of February, and progressives are not happy.
Some 43 million Americans are in for a rude awakening. A COVID moratorium on student loan payments expires, and the White House just squashed any progressive dreams of the president taking executive action to cancel student debt before then. The Brookings Institution suggests it'll cost $1.6 trillion to forgive all student debt and about $1 trillion to wipe out just $50,000 per person.
That's Fox News. Aisha has seen this was a moratorium was put on because of COVID. Democrats looking to get their Build Back Better plan passed hopefully by Christmas. According to Yahoo Finance, Rick Newman says if they're going to do it, they better do it now. They don't want this lingering going at the beginning of an election season.
The urgency is mostly political. There's nothing that says this legislation has to pass by the end of 2021 or it's dead. But I think that what Democrats want to do is they want to get this done in 2021 so they can sort of start fresh next year, and they don't have this lingering.
Military members have already been discharged, especially in the U.S. Air Force. The U.S. Air Force has announced they have discharged some of their men and women for not getting the COVID vaccine shot.
The Air Force discharged 27 service members after they refused to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Officials believe they are likely the first military members to be removed for defying the vaccine mandate. The Air Force had a November 2nd deadline to be fully vaccinated. 37 people were previously discharged for refusing the vaccine during basic training. According to Air Force officials, more than 97% of its active duty force is at least partially vaccinated as of last week. Now, the most recent data suggests that more than 1,000 Air Force members have refused the vaccine, so more discharges are very likely.
That's from the Associated Press. Smash and grab robberies that are taking place. The Wall Street Journal has a story out this week that says throughout the country are being organized, and they're all being organized on social media apps.
Large smash-and-grab retail robberies are being organized, according to the Wall Street Journal, on social media apps like Snapchat. But so far, the White House is not calling out social networks the way they did strongly out of concern about posts containing COVID disinformation.
That's Fox News' Peter Ducey. And last night, the majority-run Republican Jacksonville City Council voted to maintain and to keep in place the local option gas tax. Some other Republicans wanted to repeal it. It was led by Councilwoman Leanna Cumber.
This city council member proposed repealing the local option gas tax.
Look, this is about raising taxes. It's about whether you want to raise taxes on January 1st on people or you don't.
Leanna Cumber argued to repeal and got support from about a third of her colleagues. Ultimately, a majority voted to keep the tax increase in place.
That's from News 4 Jack's Kent Justice. Coming up next, campus reform. Good group of people has a story out about some of these COVID restrictions that are still taking place at your colleges. Wait till you hear this story coming up next. We're talking about here in Florida. 10 minutes after 7 a.m., it's Ed and Roger Talk Radio, WBOB.
Where are the tie-ups to avoid WBOB traffic?
Some light traffic on 95 headed north, right before 295. You're going to add about 5 minutes in that usual slow traffic on Butler Boulevard headed east, right between San Pablo and Hodges. Add an extra 4 minutes. If you see anything, give us a call. 901-SAFE.
Today we'll have a mix of sunshine and clouds, the high 74. Cloudy this evening and a low of 62. Right now it's 61 degrees.
The IRS and state agencies don't wait till after the holidays to demand payment or take collection action. J. David Tax Law and our firm of experienced tax attorneys live and work in this community, and we are standing by to defend you or your business in any IRS or state tax debt. Helping people in our community is what we do. For that reason, we invite you to join us in our support of worthy local charities. In this season of giving, please consider donating to Dreams Come True, Sanctuary on 8th Street, Cars for Our Troops, Rethreaded, the Ronald McDonald House, and Pax's Canine Cure. These organizations do a wonderful job for those in need. At J. David Tax Law, we believe strongly in being a responsible corporate citizen by providing funding to charities that support our community. We invite you to do the same, and we wish you and your family a happy and safe holiday season. If you have tax problems, call us now at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777 for a no-cost consultation, or find us on the web at jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
As a business owner, it's top priority that my office equipment and technology is top-notch. That's why I work with CFX Office Technology. Charlene here. Do you want reliable copiers and printers along with a secure scanning and document management solution? Call my friends at CFX Office Technology. CFX is a family business here in Jacksonville. They're helpful, professional, and always respond super fast to any issue. Trust me. Call them for your business needs. Visit CFXOffice.com, CFXOffice.com, and tell them Charlene sent you.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. If you've ever wondered why some jewelry stores and department stores always have a sale going at 50 to 75% off, there's a good reason. Because most of the time, they're not real sales. The prices are marked up so they can sell the piece at a big discount and still make the profit they need. If you wanted to find a realistic sales event, the store wouldn't run a year-round sale and the discounts would be a little more realistic. For example, Underwoods puts all of our diamond solitaire necklaces and ear studs on sale in December at 15% below the prices we sell at the rest of the year. So there's a genuine savings to the customer. We also take trade-ins, so it's the ideal time to buy for someone looking to grow their pendant or ear studs up to a larger size. Now at Underwoods, we don't run a lot of sales, but when we do, they're real and a good time to buy. So come see us at Underwoods, San Marco, Avondale, or the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Warning! Huge hedge funds, national iBuyers, and Z-Lo ballers are making ridiculous offers to sellers here in Northeast Florida. They start with a decent price, but when the inspection comes, that number drops. Then closing costs, then fees. Don't fall for it. Bring these offers to IPayCashForHouses.com and let them beat them. Or better yet, get your best offer first right now at IPayCashForHouses.com. IPayCash, the number 4.
No.
Let's go.
WBOB is talk radio for Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia.
And here are some of the top stories we're bringing you this morning. The Florida legislature meets next month. Governor Desantis says he wants legislation that will strengthen E-Verify enforcement. The U.S. Air Force says service members have been discharged for refusing to take the COVID vaccine. And a move to repeal the local 6.6 gas tax was defeated last night by the Jacksonville City Council by a vote of 13-5.
Contact the Ed Dean Radio Show on AM 600 WBOB by calling
The Lord renews their youth.
0800-831-0600.
Seriously, God will do it.
At WBOB.com, AM 600 and 101.1 FM, WBOB.
Yeah, so we had a kind of an in-house, we do a Christmas, what was it? How do you go? Just a Christmas breakfast?
Christmas prayer breakfast kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, so don't feel offended if you weren't invited.
It was staff and tenants of the Salem Center.
I had a great time, man. I got to see a lot of people. I don't get to see that often.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was their Christmas gift to me, is they only want to see me once a year. I'm like, really, guys? Why don't we hang out, do coffee?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Well, Ed, we want to do dinner. Yeah, but I'm buying. That's why I want to do coffee. So anyway, I'm kidding. It was good to see a lot of people yesterday. Anyway, 904-831-0600. We're going to get to some calls in just a moment. 904-831-0600. So it is the largest debt limit increase in U.S. history. It was passed by the Democrats. By the way, the Republicans allowed this to happen as well. Republicans didn't even make any okay, I know there's not going to be really any spending cuts, but tease me, all right? If Chuck Schumer really wants Republicans to be on board, then give us something. Republicans didn't even go along with it. At least Mitch McConnell about, hey, any type of spending measures we can put in this place. So now it was passed by $2.5 trillion. Now there's going to be enough money to go into 2023. Jen Psaki, of course. I think we should play clips of her answering these questions. She says, well, wait a second. All of these spending measures happened well before we got into the White House.
I would say we are making absolutely clear that raising the debt limit is something that has been done historically 80 times in a bipartisan fashion, the vast majority, more times under Republican presidents than Democratic presidents. And when we're talking about what debt we're dealing with here, most of it, 99% of it, I believe, existed before President Biden took office.
Interesting. No Obama, Biden, White House, 2 terms. Biggest increase in government spending we've seen.
Maybe she was throwing some shade toward Obama.
Before. Yeah. But evidently she threw shade to Obama, and then she threw shade over her president. It's called the bus.
Yeah.
Pretty much, because she didn't mention all that. It's kind of interesting. Again, the spin. By the way, Republicans, understandably so, should have done much better. But yet, at times, and many times, they're hypocrites on this issue.
And when Obama was in
sad.
office, a lot of the conventional wisdom was Biden was probably more moderate than Obama, but maybe that's not true after all.
Moderate Joe, yeah. Where is he now?
We thought that at the time.
The U.S. Air Force has announced up to, I think, 27, 37, a little bit more, have service members have been discharged because they refused to get the COVID vaccine shot.
The Air Force discharged 27 service members after they refused to get vaccinated.